Girl, are you ready to talk about this emotional roller coaster of an episode?
If not now, when?
Right? I mean, part of me is like, am I the only one who feels this way about this episode? Like, after rewatching it, I feel like I used to have a very deep love for this episode because it's Gabriel Locked. And then I rewatched it recently. I was like, no, I can't.
I felt the same way about several of your analysis episodes. I was like, oh, yay, they're doing this episode. And then after watching it, I went, oh, maybe that shouldn't have resonated with me so much.
Right? That's what I cannot wait. Like, it's the second episode. We're already getting into the problematic shit that we could just talk about, get it out of the way, and then go back to loving Sex in the City.
Love it. Love it. But like we said last episode, you gotta love it in order to criticize it well, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly. Well, welcome back, everyone. This is the Say in the City podcast, where I am chatting about each episode of Sex in the City and inviting guests so we can have some fun commentary and bring different perspectives to everything that happens. As always, I am your host, Ceyoncé, but you can call me Say. My guest today is once again my favorite ginger, Mariah. How are you, love?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me again.
Absolutely. Today we are talking about the second episode called Models and Mortals. It was written once again by creator Darren Star, whom we've already discussed, but it was directed by Allison McLean. Obviously, I'm obsessed with Allison McLean because she directed the music video for Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. Do you remember this song or this music video?
I loved this song. This song was the perfect song that I thought I related to as a tween, but didn't. It encapsulates everything that a tiny heart can feel when it's breaking. So, loved this song. But I had never seen the music video until prepping for this episode, and now I've seen it and I'm like, "Oh, it's great." And I can completely see her touch in this because it's so realistic looking. It's got that like homey feel, but then it's like set pieces being pulled apart, and I'm like, love it, love it.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, I love this song. I am obsessed with the song. I can still listen to it just all the time. I still have the CD, as a matter of fact, the Natalie Imbruglia CD. I'm like,
I
oh.
love that.
But yeah, I mean, as you kind of like watch the episode and then think about like the music video, it does totally make sense.
Yeah,
100%.
it feels really realistic.
Yeah. And it feels like emotional, but not so emotional that's like over the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we opened the episode with Miranda going on a first date with Nick Wexler, whom we'll discuss in a moment, but he brings her to a dinner party. Now, how do you feel about a dinner party with his friends as a first date?
This might be controversial, but I personally kind of like it. I by your reaction, I feel like maybe this is unpopular, but I think it's kind of great because of a few reasons. First of all, I don't know if this was the same case as the 90s, but men having close personal friendships, healthy ones that they know how to prioritize and foster is a huge green flag. So I would love to see how a guy behaves around his friends first off. And then also, you've got built-in people there. Like, especially the girlfriends in this scene, I'm like, oh gosh, yes, I need a team of girls on my side when I go into a first date. Seems great to me.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't mind it. And I really like being social. So I think that I would personally like it.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're a social person. I hate people. So someone's like, oh, do you want to go to a dinner party? I'm like, no, thank you. They're like, you want to go on a dinner party to on a first date and meet my friends? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
See, for me, it takes the pressure off because if I like a person, like when I was dating Jay, I had too much time to build up meeting the friends. So then when I met the friends, it was so intense. But first date, I have no expectations of impressing the friends. Who cares?
That's
Like,
true.
it takes the pressure off being with the guy, and getting to see him with other people, I think, is really helpful for me. So I actually kind of like this as a first date idea.
That's true, yeah. And like I do have to say every time I like go on a date with someone in the back of my mind, if I take them to a bar that I like, if they happen to meet my friends, I'm like, please do not say something embarrassing. Like,
To your
do not.
friends or to the date?
No, to like, I'm always in my mind. I'm like, don't say something, don't say something, don't say something.
You're afraid you're going to say something embarrassing. Oh,
No,
well.
him.
Oh, I was
I
like, if
don't
it's
say
me,
anything
it's
embarrassing.
a
I'm
given. I have to
amazing.
accept that I say embarrassing things.
Yeah, I don't. I'm amazing. I'm hilarious.
Exactly.
Yeah. If anything, I just say inappropriate things. But like this one time, I took a guy to Pony Up here in Denver, and he told a joke that was it was inappropriate, but I can forgive inappropriate if it's funny, and it wasn't funny. And so now I was like, oh God, this is like I was close to the girls, all of them at Pony Up at the time. So I was like, oh great,
Yeah,
now like this is a reflection of me.
that's
But
a
I
really
could
good
see
point.
how like going the other way could be nice. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, bringing someone into my space, I think I agree with you. I wouldn't invite a stranger necessarily into my close space with my friends. Yeah, that feels too invasive. But
exactly.
going into his, sure. I don't mind.
Exactly, yeah. And
Like,
like I mean, I do have to say, I feel like the men are probably not the ones putting the dinner parties together.
true.
Like, let's face it, it's the two.
Nick did not put that together. That is
Yeah,
so
it was
true.
the two women who were sitting there telling him to stop bringing these models to the dinner parties.
Yeah. And I was thinking, obviously that's never happened to me. Nobody's brought me to a dinner party date one, but on a second date, someone brought me to an EP release of their friends, and that was great. Loved it. I loved the atmosphere. But then they ghosted me. He completely ghosted me after that. And I was like, but I liked your friends.
I mean,
He
legitimately,
was
like
no loss at all. But I liked that crowd so much. And I was like, dang it.
oh my God, I have had the same situation.
Have
What
you
is it with,
really?
yeah, what is it with Denver and like EP release parties as a
I have no
date?
idea. And it was clearly like at their parents' house too. Well, this was a long time ago too. Again,
Oh, okay.
this was a long time ago, but it was clearly at someone's parents' house. So it was a nice house. It was catered.
An
There were
EP
cool people
release
all
party.
around. I was playing like lawn games with people. It was so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, then
So what does that mean? Like, okay. It was a oh, I burned some CDs. Come check them out, y'all.
for them, they were like a band, right? They were like a garage band. And so they had finally released their extended play or whatever. So that was,
Yeah.
I mean, do I remember the band? No. Do I remember what the music even sounded like?
Right?
No.
Yeah. Do I have the CD stuck in storage somewhere? Probably. Because I was just thinking about like I think I still have the CD that I got
I
from
don't think I
their
do have it still. I don't know that I even brought it home, to be honest.
so funny. I
But the
mean,
people
I've
there were
also
nice.
had dates at like, oh, we shot a skateboarding video, and like my friends
What?
did
That's so
a
fun.
skateboarding video, so come see that. So I'd be like, okay, and it would be like 20 of us in like this huge venue. But yeah, those would be fun because like they know how to party.
Yeah. And granted, that was second date, and first date was more one on one. But but I think that the dinner party of like six people is in between those two things of like close personal time and a group time. And then also the dinner date
Yeah.
idea. If the dinner goes well, you can get a cup of coffee or a drink after, and then you've got your one on one time. But you can also, if you didn't love that person on that date, you can be like, oh, no, I got it. I have an early day tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
really easy
if
to get
the
out of.
kitchen is separated from the front door, you can literally just ghost them, just walk out and no one knows. Be like, I'm gonna go use the restroom and then just walk
And
away.
honestly, in Miranda's case, this ended up be doing her a favor too, because she ended up, not to get ahead of us, but she ends up learning some information about Nick that completely made her disinterested. And how long do you think it would have taken before she figured that news out on her own without the help of Nick's friends?
Yeah. I mean,
He did her a favor.
if he even wanted to continue dating her, like, I think
Right.
that's the other
And then he,
thing.
he probably would have ghosted her just like that guy ghosted me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And she would have never known why.
That's so funny. Yeah. And speaking of, at this dinner party, Nick prompts a game of old movie stars you'd have liked to fuck when they were young. Who would be your answer?
Do you want my real answer or do you want to know what I would have said? Because I very much would have
You
tapered
would
my
have said something
answer
different?
according to the crowd. Yeah, I have like three different answers.
Okay.
My normal answer is Pedro Pascal, but that's not even really the prompt because he's hotter now than when he was young.
Yeah. Well, and is he old? I don't
No,
consider him old.
I don't consider him old either.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay, then you're not going to even like my second answer, which if I was okay with being bisexual here, I would
If
say
you were,
Jamie Lee Curtis. And Jamie Lee Curtis, any era. Like I'm specifically talking about like 1990s, like that scene in True Lies where she changes her dress and slicks back her hair with the nasty plant water.
and does the striptease. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Jamie Lee Curtis, any era. But my real answer that you know this real answer, is Danny Trejo, 1990s. But also maybe an era, I don't know.
I mean, also, yeah, I mean, Danny Trejo is probably going to be your most controversial answer. Not even just like, oh, I would love to do this.
No, I've known that people don't like that answer since 2001 when I saw Spy Kids, and um, and I quickly learned that how old was I? Do that? Like an 8-year-old girl shouldn't be saying that Danny Trejo is hot.
But
It
that
was
is
a weird
also,
sexual awakening, but fitting for me.
yeah, but I also love, like, I mean, when it comes to like Pedro Pascal, I am like, I get it, the daddy energy.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis, totally get it, True Lies.
kind of mommy
Uh,
energy, honestly.
yeah, Danny Trejo, I get it for you, only because we have
Any
had this
other people
conversation
have
before.
this opinion? I want to know
I
because
want to know. I mean, at least one other person, like he has kids, right? Yeah, he has kids.
yeah, yeah,
So at least one other person.
yeah. At least, I mean, he inspired From Dusk Till Dawn to continue as a franchise. Was the leather vest? I know it.
It's
Okay,
so
but
random.
what's your answer?
That's so funny. Yeah. I mean, I love that you have three different answers because I have like eras. Yeah. So like my current day ones, I mean, they're not old either, but I would do like Michael Ealy. Mm, that is a beautiful man.
Okay, okay.
Or like Brian Greenberg or like Andrew Garfield.
Oh, you would totally. Oh, yeah. Andrew Garfield is way too young for this prompt, though.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, when I first saw him in a movie, it was The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus when he's like 22. And I was like, who is that little cutie? Because I mean, I think that was like one of his first movies, like ever. And
I don't
as
know.
he's
I
like
expected you to
gotten
give like
older.
a Richard Burton or a John Wayne.
Well, so that's like my current day, right? And
Mm,
then my 70s through like the 2000s would be like Robert Redford or
yeah.
yeah, right? Yeah, I like the pretty
For
boys.
you, I've never been that, but I get it. I see it.
And then my like pre 1970s would also probably be Montgomery Clift.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that was, I mean, ugh, just like stupidly beautiful. But then I'm also like, oh, maybe also like Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I like I do love Miranda's yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
I, yeah, I love how that is how you are for like Jamie Lee Curtis and Danny.
Honestly, all my examples, except Pedro Pascal, only once he hits 50.
Oh, I love that.
But if
Okay,
you're
so
talking, I didn't think of it, but maybe like Tony Curtis if we're going like really far back. But also, I don't know.
okay, yeah.
I do like Tony
I
Curtis
mean,
though.
I guess, yeah, I could see that. I mean, honestly, too, I've always been like, why aren't I into Rock Hudson? I don't know why.
Yeah, but also weirdly, Tony Curtis in some Like It Hot in female drag.
I mean, not that weird, you pansexual spectrum.
Like, wait, why is he hotter with lipstick? And then he does the face when he's walking. I don't know, it works for him.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, probably because it's in black and white. I'm like, dude, they
Yes,
had better never colorize that film. It would be a goddamn
it's
nightmare.
gonna ruin it for me.
I do have to say
Oh,
though, both of them are very pretty in drag.
right, Jack Lemmon too. It's something too about like the broad shoulders, and they're like, and then like they're trying to fit in these like tight 19. Well, it was an era film, so it was supposed to be 1920s, but it was 1950s looking
It was still
outfits.
1950s, yeah.
Yeah, they still looked 1950s, but they're supposed to be 20s.
Okay, so Miranda finds out through Nick's friend that she's unwittingly dating a modelizer. So this prompts a conversation among the four friends about models, which is difficult to say the least. What are your thoughts on this conversation among our women here?
Yeah, when they're back at Carrie's apartment talking about it, right? That's not a real conversation. I mean, you mentioned it in the last episode about how unrealistic the conversations were, but I really wouldn't have noticed that on my own until this episode with this conversation because it's so unrealistic.
Yeah,
Like, I think this is how men think women talk about attractive women, that we're super jealous and petty, and that men are this prize we're all competing for. But I've never seen women talk like that.
yeah,
Um,
100%. I mean,
yeah.
honestly,
And
like
also,
it
only
comes
men hate women this much. Women don't hate women this much. Like, what does
exactly.
Miranda say? They should all be shot? Like, oh my, I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
I should have worn
Yeah,
my pearls today. Because what are you talking about?
yeah.
And
And
they're stupid and
especially,
lazy. Also, I grew up watching America's Next Top Model, watching Tyra Banks torture women who wanted to be models. So I've never once thought that modeling's an easy job.
yeah,
Like, it actually seems terrible. It seems like really difficult and terrible. And I don't
yeah,
think anybody thinks that they're lazy. Stupid. I guess there kind of is this perception that pretty people can be stupid, but I don't know. I don't I don't hear women talking like this.
yeah, exactly. And that's why, when it comes to Darren Star in particular, like part of me is like, oh, he's trying to be like keep it edgy.
Hmm.
Like maybe that's what it is. But I'm also like, have you never actually spent time talking to Candace Bushnell? Candace Bushnell almost made a cameo in this episode. And I'm like, have
Oh.
you never actually sat down and had a conversation with
I
her?
mean, the
Like,
thing is that it's a really interesting topic of what it's like dating in New York City when you feel that men's expectations of women are that they look like models. That's an interesting conversation, but that's not what's being had here. And even when they're talking about their insecurities, it's not this mean girls in front of a mirror moment, like my cuticles suck. Like it's not that's not really how we talk about our insecurities. And
And even like the Mean
yeah,
Girls moment is like a parody.
it's a parody
Wow.
and it's very self-aware. This doesn't feel self-aware.
Exactly. Yeah. And part of
Like I'll
me,
race you a nose. Like who talks like that? And also SJP without her nose would be tragic. Perfect.
right? Yeah. And I would probably never look at Cynthia Nixon's chin and be like, your chin, how dare you? Like, at least this is pretty consistent for Charlotte throughout, like the thighs, because it comes
Yeah,
up again like
it
multiple
does come
times.
up again. And that one is a realistic body, but these girls aren't talking about that. These girls aren't, that's not how women talk about their insecurities. And then the fact that they all judge Sam for not having any, nobody would judge you for not having. Like, no, it's like, I'm not going to voice what I'm insecure about in front of you. Like, and if we do, we talk about it like, this thing happened today that made me think, ah, oh, do I need to? Like, I have a best friend who got facial work done, got a nose job, and I didn't even know it was an insecurity of hers until she told me she was getting the nose job. And I was like, oh. Then she explained to me the deep seated feelings she had about it. And she was aware that people liked her nose, but it was still insecure for her because of really different, hangups. And now and she got great work done and all that. But yeah, it's not like that. It's not like these friends are like talking to me about their nose on the regular. It's when they've decided to maybe do something about it that they'll
Yeah.
even bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, because I do wonder, like, I mean, I guess there's also a little bit of a difference between, just like those insecurities and things that you're like, oh, I saw this on TikTok and it is sparking like a really interesting conversation. Like, body shaming versus like body positivity and going down like that route, right? Like
Right.
uh, being able to talk about influencers who, gained a following, not being conventionally, Western beautiful kind of thing,
Mhm.
and being like, oh, I love this, right? That's a little bit different than sitting around and being like, Mariah, what would you change about yourself?
Like we've been friends for how long? And have I ever talked to you about like a physical insecurity?
Exactly.
Like I feel like we both were 2010s gained the editor 30 and we were like, "Oh, how are we going to lose weight?" I feel like that's the closest thing
Probably,
we've
yeah.
ever had. That's probably the closest thing we've ever had to a discussion about insecurities, about the way we look. So yeah, I don't know. I found that entire conversation really unrealistic.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we've had we've joked over like drinks of
Yeah.
like, oh, like I would totally get lip filler, but that's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
drastic changes. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and it's never like I'm so yeah. Yeah,
yes,
like if
ever I
something's
hate
there's
this.
a relevant story and it's like is are my lips too small because someone made a comment. Like that's kind of the closest that I see friends making that kind of
Exactly. Not just like, oh, let's
comment.
demonize an entire group of people.
Yeah.
After we're done demonizing them, let's talk about what we hate about ourselves.
In fact, I've the times that I've seen women, well, I'm going to say girls actually talk about that is like when we were learning how to be adults. Like it's like middle school. Like I could there were some conversations like that in middle school. I remember when Devil Wears Prada came out and we were watching the movie together and I mean, we were too young to have like insecurities to be honest. I don't know. But there was one girl who's like, "Ah, I hate a woman who can pull off a red lip," like insinuating that she can't. And I'm sitting around going, none of us are allowed to wear makeup. What are you talking about? So I feel like she maybe heard someone say that and then repeated it because she thought it made her sound more adult like. But that's what this is giving. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what adult women talk like. They put other women down because we're always competing with them And so here I'm going to perform a realistic woman now and say this. That's what this whole scene is giving.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because it's also perpetuated on so many other shows. Like, I will give that to Darren Star. Like, he's not the first, and he's certainly not the last to have this kind of conversation, like, among his female characters, unfortunately. And you're right. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
like, it brings along with it all of the either like the younger people watching, which like I hope not that many not that many people under 16 are watching Sex in the City.
Sex
At
in
least
the
not like
City. Yeah.
at least like watch it on E or whatever.
Yeah.
But also just like, especially in like your 20s and like in college watching Sex in the City and thinking like, oh, I'm making adult friends now. This is how we should treat other women. This is how we should treat each other. This is how I should treat myself. Yeah, for as much as I have an issue with Lena Dunham and girls, at least, well, no, they had this conversation too. I know they did. I was like, I was going to throw her a bone, and I was like, no, no, can't even do that, Lena. Sorry. But before we leave this conversation, and Charlotte's only appearance in this episode, which I find wild, would you toot or boot these outfits?
Again, we're kind of starved for fashion moments so far, but so the fact that we're tuning and booting looks that they're just chilling, eating Chinese food in, but I will do it. Of course I will. I have the pictures here. That's why I'm looking. Yeah, Miranda boot. She's in this like Adidas track pants, which I do like. I actually do like the Adidas track pants with the stripes down the side. Very now, very then. But then she put it with this. It's the shirt that's killing it. It's like just such a nothing long sleeve black t-shirt that hits her at such a weird length. And it's just not styled. These pants could be really cool with maybe some layering. I mean, it's giving nothing, so I have to boot that look. It's
Yeah, I'm
not.
like, I don't think even layering. I mean, possibly,
I'm
but
picturing maybe like a denim jacket or something that covers. Maybe if she tucked that into the pants. I don't know. It's wrong. It's wrong. But like this with even a basic white T-shirt would have gotten a toot.
yeah,
Like a crew neck white T-shirt would have gotten a toot. But this black nothing sauce layering piece, no. I do like her hair here. I do think that's cute with like behind her ears. But no,
yeah.
that's it. And then I'm gonna go to Charlotte. I'm going kind of just in order of who was talking, but I give this a boot. What are you doing? Everybody else looks like they're hanging out eating Chinese food, and Charlotte looks like she's teaching a kindergarten class.
She's like,
Like
class.
Argyle is very on point, but can we she doesn't look comfortable. She's wearing like these weird brown trousers. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like
She
not
doesn't
only is
look
she
comfortable.
teaching, she just came from the classroom.
That's what she looks like, yeah, and it's not a cute look. So, yeah, I have to give Charlotte a boot in her only appearance in this episode. Um, Sam, I'm gonna toot this look. I think it's cute. I like that it's layered. She looks really comfortable. I like that she's got this duster cardigan hanging, off one shoulder. Cute. I'd wear that. I'd wear that to hang out in. And then Carrie toot. See, this is cute layering. Um, like it's almost giving like ballet core. Like we've got
Mm,
like a shorter crop and then she's got the tank under. And I think she's in jeans, which I don't find comfortable to hang out in, but if they're stretchy and comfortable, then I guess go for it. And I love her hair tied back too. And going back to Sam's hair, I do like Sam's hair here too. It's the right length for her. We're finally getting the right length for Sam, but then we've got like a little half up moment for her, and I like that. Okay, what do you feel like?
don't even care. Well, okay, here's the thing. Like, I I understand they're just hanging out, they're eating Chinese food. Like, they don't need to be glamorous at all. The thing that I don't like about the way that they're dressed is it feels like they're like, oh, make sure that all of the women look frumpy because as they're shitting on models, then it doesn't seem as mean. Like if if they were wearing like cute clothes that they would like in later seasons just hanging out, it's like, oh, are they being too mean? No, make them frumpy as much as these four women can look frumpy. Make them frumpy and it'll be fine. It'll make them look normal.
That's so funny. You're right. I were they trying to show us that these women are feeling insecure by these outfits?
Right? Yeah. It's like one of those things where I'm like, oh, why don't they all just like hunch over too and,
I didn't get that, but
and just dead
I
behind the
love
eye.
hearing that perspective. That's so funny. And I mean, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. But I do like Sam and Carrie's looks. I think that they're fine. I would have loved Sam's look better. But again, now that you mention, I would have loved Sam's look better with a tight anything underneath. It's just the cardigan I like.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
her
It
with
is
that with
just
a
the
little
top that
lacy
you like
cami
on
or
Carrie.
something, cute, cute. And I don't mind Carrie's. I don't think Carrie's looks that frumpy.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, if it was just the top, it'd be cute. But like,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
also yeah, it's giving ballet core, but this isn't Sarah Jessica Parker. This is Carrie
yeah,
Bradshaw. Sarah Jessica
yeah,
Parker, ballet core makes so much sense.
yeah,
Carrie Bradshaw, not so much for me, unless she
yeah.
got the
We don't
tutu
understand
on.
any of these women's perspectives from these outfits. I'll say that. Except,
Exactly.
unfortunately, maybe some of Charlotte's. Except it's not well
Exactly.
done. Like Charlotte does preppy well, and like it's not that preppy people don't hang out. What are you talking about? Like preppy people love an athleisure moment. I want to see Charlotte in her little yoga best outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. Okay. So, moving on from just talking shit about Charlotte's only appearance in this episode, which I still find crazy. After the girls tell us how much they hate models and themselves, we get some interviews that include Nick justifying his modelizers. So, let's talk about it. What do you think of Nick?
Why did Miranda go out with this man at all? Like I can't find any I find absolutely nothing about this man attractive. Not the voice. Now I'm just shading the actor, but not the voice, not the appearance, not anything. Like why did she agree to go out with him? And
Yeah.
she also makes this comment with Carrie. I think they're at like a cafe before they're eating the Chinese, and she says, "If men like Nick are dating models, what chance do us ordinary women have?" And I'm like, the way you said "like Nick" tells me you didn't even like him. She knows. It's giving the impression that she's settling for what she thinks she can get,
Yeah.
which is just weird. It's a bad reason to go out on a date.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the nice thing is, I don't think you're totally shading the actor because he did voice Raphael, I think, in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So like he doesn't have to
He
have
can
such a
change that
deep
voice to
voice.
something
Yeah,
else.
I don't think he has
Okay,
such a
that was a
deep
character
voice in
choice. All right.
real
That
life.
makes me feel better.
And I also think like, I mean, especially at the end, they made him seem like much more unattractive. Like I think that they were hitting them
Yeah.
angles really well to just make him seem like a creep.
Yeah,
Honestly.
you're right. They were really portraying him to look a certain way, and it worked.
Yeah. so so yeah, we don't have to shade the actor, but good job, Nick, being
What do
the
you think about Nick?
I mean, so compared to the person who we're about to meet, Barkley, Nick is uh, Nick is just he's a net. He's annoying, but like you can just swat him away. He's very swattable,
Yes.
and I think like that's one. Yeah, I never understood why Miranda even went out with him in the first place.
No.
Yeah, because what do they say? Like, oh, he complimented her legs once, which is also problematic.
Yeah. No, yeah, like Miranda doesn't need to be that desperate for compliments. And when you think about it from a competition point of view, because Miranda keeps making it one, why are you competing for Nick? Like
Is it even a competition?
it,
Yeah.
it's like please take him. I mean, Like, I think the reason the models are dating him are because they're sucking him dry, as he implies, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
they just want his resources, and which, get it, sure. And Miranda doesn't need to do that. Not that the models do either. I'm not saying that they need to, but they want to. So yeah, it's like, why are you? It's like, oh, I can't even get someone like Nick, and it's like, don't aim higher, girl.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and there, right? Like, she is a successful attorney. She doesn't need a man, as we'll find out through the rest of the
Hmm.
series. Like, she doesn't need a man. Yeah, it's very just why,
Yeah, they
100%.
haven't proven that it's the cream of the crop dating models. And they don't prove that this entire episode. So why are you competing for these type of men? It seems like the type of men who date models aren't your type of men, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
Period.
So,
So they're
yeah.
not your competition.
Yeah. Um, that's so funny. Yeah. Well, and speaking of,
Men who date models in this episode.
we then meet the deplorable Barkley. And again, I don't want to talk about Barkley or his actions, but I do want to talk about Carrie's reaction to finding out what Barkley does. So, with her reaction, is she any better than Barkley?
That's such an interesting question. I mean, slightly. She's slightly better because she isn't the one actually assaulting people. But I am really confused by her actions here. I don't Well, I'm confused why she doesn't do anything, why she doesn't say anything to him. And that's because if she's got her journalist hat on, I can fully see why she didn't confront him. I can fully see why she was there to bear witness and she was there to document. But then, I'm sorry, where's the expose? Because this man needs to be prosecuted. Right? Like, that's what the story is. This is beyond a sex column. This is what this high profile artist in New York City is doing, and I saw it. I wore a wire and recorded him admitting it. That's what you do if you're not going to say anything. The one thing I can say is at least she warned Samantha when Samantha she didn't do what she did to Charlotte in the last episode and not warn her that the guy is a skis weasel. At least she did warn Samantha, and that's really the only credit I can give her in this
Yeah.
episode. In this
I mean,
situation. Yeah, why didn't you confront him and tell him this? Like, bring back public embarrassment.
yeah. Well, and what's so interesting about this episode in 1998, especially in this current political climate, we know
We love
that
to blame a Monica Lewinsky. Is that what you're saying?
no, these men had no consequences for any of this.
Yeah, yeah,
We know
yeah.
they had no consequences for a very
They
long
have
time.
no consequences, and women face.
Carrie would have faced scrutiny. She would have faced
She could have lost her
intimidation.
column. Yeah,
Yeah,
potentially. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Which in that
exactly.
case, if you don't want to put your professionalism on the line, then at least confront him in the moment. At least tell him that's really not cool. Like, this is illegal, right?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean,
Because, like,
and
what
I
would
think
you
that's
do
my
if you
biggest.
found out that your friend was doing this? Because is she friends with Barkley? That's kind of a question.
I mean, it's one of the weird things. Like, you kind of have to assume that she is
Yeah.
because she's very casual with him,
Yes.
especially if he
Like,
is like an interview
would you
subject.
confront a friend if you found out they were doing something like this?
Are you kidding? Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Of
Yeah.
course you would.
Yeah. I wouldn't be like, got a light. Yeah. 'Cause I think that's what it is, right? It's not just seeing it. I mean, she did ask some good questions, like, do they know about this?
Yeah, the question. But then the answer wasn't yes. So,
Exactly. Yeah. So then after that, oh, got a light? Like, let's just remain casual here. Yeah. I mean, but and
yeah,
that's
I guess the
why,
answer is only slightly better in that she's not assaulting people. But
well, yeah. I mean, I think that the only thing, that is definitely like, oh, she probably is his friend because I don't think I would hope that he's smart enough to not just show a random journalist.
Yeah, he wouldn't show a random journalist this. Which me, I would have just exposed him. I would
Exactly.
have exposed him.
Yeah. Like
It'd been
talk
like,
to
we're
your
not that close
editor.
of friends.
Yeah, talk to your editor. Let
But
your editor know like
you
what
have a
what's
good
going on.
point that Carrie could have like lost her job over this. Depending on how much money this guy has, how much of a following he has. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so,
Like I at least wouldn't have lit a cigarette and watched.
yeah, exactly, right? So, and that's why like I continue to think like, you know, the comedy parts of a lot of these episodes is like, oh, I don't think that was ever funny. Like I don't think that was actually funny in
Yeah.
1998, but thinking about it in context of if Carrie did say something, like what could happen, you know? And so like, oh, I guess I'll just pretend like I didn't see it and at least warn Samantha. And you also don't know how much she actually would have put in the column, right? Like, are we
Yeah,
listening
we don't know.
verbatim
We don't know
to
how much
what
she wrote
she
about
wrote?
this.
Yeah, are we listening verbatim to what she actually wrote in the
Because we do
column?
know that sometimes, we don't know from this episode, but we do know later that sometimes she puts a little personal attack in there or two.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the politician when she to be or not to be that kind of thing. Um,
Well,
no
and
spoilers.
in the first episode, we got a picture of her column,
Yeah,
and it was literally the narration that we
yeah.
had. And so that's why I assume at least like this
Well,
first
she could
season.
have put that in there. She
Yeah,
could have actually done that. She could have
exactly.
exposed him and just there were no consequences because.
Exactly. Yeah. Was there any outrage? No, because it's Sex in the City. It's a sex column.
So
We're
I guess
supposed to
we can give her credit there. That would make me feel better about Carrie as a person, as if I choose to believe that she did publicize his actions.
exactly. Yeah.
Except we know that she's generally anonymous. So she was calling him out anonymously, probably, but still.
She could have. I don't know. I mean, Candace Bushnell did put some real people's names in. I don't know like what her threshold was, uh, because she did put like a couple of, but they were actual like books or movies or something that she was referencing, or she would make very thinly veiled.
Like
Right.
everybody who knew who this was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
so like
probably.
part of me is like, oh, hopefully Carrie kind of did the same. Like, oh, so
Hopefully. Which is
lost.
what she does with the politician, to be fair. She's like, oh, this person who shall be unnamed that I haven't been photographed with all over town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so we finally get to the fun part of the episode. So Carrie and Stanford are backstage for a fashion show where she meets Stanford's apparently only client, The Bone. The Bone is described as the biggest underwear model in the world, which I find fascinating. But what do you think of The Bone?
I can't take anyone seriously with the name The Bone.
What's the nickname? It was probably given to him. He probably didn't walk around and be like, hey, you can call me Bone. First name, The. Bone. The Bone.
So he is a cliche. He doesn't feel very realistic to me at first, but later I do feel like he's humanized a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, what's cliche about him?
he's a little bit shallow and a little bit. Well, I don't think he's as shallow as we credit as people would. I don't know. Carrie acts shallow with him. Like she expects him to be super shallow, and then he's less shallow. Just
Yeah.
like I guess just like gorgeous guy getting what he wants. Like, hey, you want to come? Can I just like come to your apartment tonight? Like, sure. Like that, I guess, is what I mean. Just
Okay.
like suave and
I mean, I probably wouldn't call him
reading
suave.
unserious. He doesn't seem serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
seems very young and unserious.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you're like 19, 20 years old, like, were
I can't
you
tell how old
serious?
he is in this. He acts 19 or 20, but he doesn't look 19 or 20 to me. But also, 90s styling really throws me off.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to models, like if he's considered like a top model in the male modeling industry, then he's probably walked a lot of shows in and out of his underwear. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how models learn to style for themselves, is like
Hmm.
walking in these shows and being like, oh, they gave me this, they gave me that. And so now I have a wardrobe that I can actually look like an adult in.
Right, right.
But I also like, what I will say, and that's why I asked, like, do you think he's cliche? Because he's so soft spoken and he's not incredibly
Yeah.
arrogant.
He's not incredibly arrogant. And we learned that when Carrie takes him home, but I think it's a lot of
I
Carrie's
mean, I
behavior I
think
don't
we find
like.
that
I
out
like
right at the
that.
beginning. I
Yeah,
think we find
I
out
don't
right
like.
at the beginning that he's not very arrogant.
Yeah, I think we find that out right away. But I dislike how Carrie and Stanford are treating him, and I dislike how shocked Carrie is at. It's like, you want to come home with me? What? What? He's like, I'm sorry, he's not out of your league. You are somebody in this series in New York, and you're gorgeous. Like, of course he wants to come home with you. That's not weird, Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and he wasn't like, hey, want to go fuck?
he was just really nice. And I'm like, what? Are you just not used to attractive men being nice to you? Because, like, surely that's not true.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we've seen her ex, who I find conventionally attractive. Um,
Kurt?
will Yeah,
Yeah,
Kurt.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
she thinks Big is attractive.
yeah.
So like
Yeah,
obviously, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Stanford in this scene because, yeah, tell me your thoughts.
We talked about Stanny last episode when we met him, and we talked a bit about me being completely baffled that gay men would write a character like Stanford. And this is even worse than last episode. Last time he was just a little bit cliche. We're starting to see the writers introduce some problematic tropes here in this character with how he's treating this male model. Like, honestly, I consider dangerous tropes of like, this is a desperate queer person, like just desperate to get attention from any man possible. And we don't care if you're really gay or not. And also kind of like the desperate, ugly person, which again, I've said I don't think Stanford's ugly at all, but they certainly portray him that way. And then gay men being borderline predatory to straight men is a really dangerous trope.
Yeah.
And with his
Well,
line like
and
saying, "Oh, it's like, well, but he's straight," it seems like, and Carrie coming to his rescue, kind of being like to defend him, be like, "Oh, Stanford, you've got to calm down. He's straight." And it's like, "We'll see." It's like, "Oh, stop." Like that's actually a really dangerous trope. Why are we introducing
well,
that?
and specifically because Stanford is his agent.
Yes.
So Stanford is in a position of power
Yes.
and older.
Yeah, this whole picture they're painting of this older, in power, effeminate, desperate gay male being inappropriate
And
with
predatory.
their young, hot male client is a real problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And oh, it's fine. He's just joking.
Yeah, and
Or
actually, you know
yeah,
what? Maybe that's some of the cliche that I'm talking about is like treating models like objects. Um, because I think that does happen in the modeling industry. It's like, oh, it's fine. He's a model. Like because he's gorgeous. It's okay that I pinch him and talk about his package and call him the bone, and it's okay that I treat him like this. He's a model,
exactly. Yeah.
which is weird. And again, why I don't understand why any of these women are envious of models because that is the impression I have of what models are treated like in the industry. And who would want to be treated like that?
Yeah. Well, and, again, that comes back to the conversation that the women had earlier in the episode. It's like, understanding the exploitation that these models have to suffer through, especially
Hmm.
female models, because they are
Yeah, this is the
recruited.
male model. And
Yeah,
we're
they're
seeing
recruited
the
at like
male model sympathetically. It's interesting that they didn't do that with any female model in this episode.
exactly, yeah. Even though female models are recruited at 14, 15 years old,
Hmm.
sent to New York, and they have to go on dates with guys like Nick to eat.
Yeah, what little they're allowed to.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
we make fun of them for purging in the bathroom. It's like that's never. Oh, that was a bad joke in this episode too. Was that they don't hold down their dinners when they
Yeah,
were talking about the people that Nick dates. Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
a sad portrait. That's not
Of
something to
the
be envied or to be blaming them for.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
interesting
luckily,
that the person we see sympathetically as a model has to be a guy, a white man,
mhm,
who's
exactly.
being, and then we have to make the bad guy kind of stanny.
Hmm. Well, no, the bad guy is Barkley.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah, that's true. That's true, but
Luckily,
we
we
don't
have
really.
Barkley.
I don't know that we look at those women adequately as victims in this
Exactly.
episode. I mean, I do. You and I do, but there's never really a moment where it's acknowledged that these women are victims.
Well, how are they supposed to be victims? They're meant to be shot on sight. They're too stupid to work.
Yeah.
They don't
Oh,
work. Yeah,
oh, so bad. So
exactly.
bad.
But
Yeah.
luckily, they meet Samantha to watch the fashion show from the front row, which is our first fashion show of this series. Are we tooting or booting this fashion show?
I want to know what you think, but I boot the fashion show. And it's not because of any one look, it's because it's so incohesive to me and I don't understand the POV. Is the POV mullets? Is it business on bottom and nipples on top? Which I don't mind, but tell that story better. And then is it snake, like we've got snake skin, we've got Asian inspired prints, and then we've got one singular man in cotton boxer briefs. Like why is there one man in his underwear and they just look like regular jockey shorts, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
and he's just walking, and like in the order that they're walking in, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, okay, so this is not a fashion show, in my opinion. But also, you talked about in your recap episode that this is like, maybe they were pulling from here or pulling from here, and I like a lot of the examples that you're pulling from, but I think it's just clear that this is a budget thing, that this fashion show isn't very realistic.
Yeah. I mean, at least not for a designer. Like, this is not a
Yes, yeah,
designer's collection. This is like,
yeah.
I mean, this reminds me, Denver does this a lot at like Denver Fashion Week,
It does kind
where
of feel
it's
like Denver
like
Fashion Week.
boutiques
Yes,
that put just a bunch of looks together. And then they're
it
like,
does feel like that.
yeah, they're like, okay, go. There's like kind of a through line, but not really. But at
Hmm.
least it's not like trying to be a collection. Because yeah,
Right,
this is not a
exactly.
collection at all.
No, no.
I
Do
mean,
you
honestly though, like,
reboot the show?
oh, it's a boot.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Again, yeah, like I can appreciate the references that seem to
Yeah,
be
and I'm glad you
true.
mentioned a lot of those. Like, it is a little bit streetwear, it is a little bit like Tom Ford of the time, but I mean, making that comparison feels like a leap. But it's true. It feels referential to that, which is fine for what it really was, which was like just a boutique show.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's what I
Again, the
would.
male model in his boxers made abs. That was the most egregious part.
Well, again, right? If it's a boutique show, that at least makes the
You
most sense.
sell boxers? What do you sell at this boutique? You sell everything? Get your
Yeah,
underwear for
I can
yourself.
see
Get
that.
get this
If
lovely
you,
nipple top for your girlfriend.
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you have the the see-through top, it makes sense that you would have boxers too if you're like selling just like
That makes sense. And
leather
then and
capris.
then of the time it made sense to be pairing it with these weird business pants, capri length.
Yeah, the capri length was all over the runway at this time.
Yeah, that length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
what do
then
you
their
think about?
outfits to this fashion show though.
Yeah,
I do shout out Carrie and Samantha's looks. Those are both toots for me. I love Carrie's strapless black dress, and you're kind of wearing like the necklace.
exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Mariah.
Yes, I love the necklace that she pairs with it. I like the cute little black dress. I like Sam's coat with the fur. Um, and I like the mix of brown and black she did with that too. So I think they look very nice, and I'm really glad to have a fashion moment.
Yes. I mean, I love Carrie's Herve Leger dress.
Hmm.
So good, styled really, really well. I think it's like the first time that we get like some Pat Field styling.
It's such a relief from that last episode where she wore the leopard bra dress. So much better.
Yeah. Samantha, I don't love Samantha's only because I'm like, if Carrie's in strapless, why is Sam completely covered up from head to toe? Like Sam came from The
She
Office.
is, yeah. She's got the black tights on. She's got the fur. Yeah, she looks cold. You're right. This looks like spring fashion week and then like fall fashion week sitting right next to each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
what did
true.
you
I
think
didn't
about
think
what did you think about Stanford?
boot. The color of that suit, the color and fit of that suit.
It is an odd
No,
color. Yeah.
isn't it? It's really bad. And also, I don't think suits fit well in the 90s yet.
I mean, I think this is another budget thing. Um, but the 90s are also all about like the oversized suit
Yes, because I'm
still.
even thinking of like Richard Gere on the red carpets around this time. Even his suits were too big.
Yeah.
It looked sloppy to me, but I think that was kind of the style. I
Yeah,
just don't like
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Like they fit the way that they were supposed to. They just shouldn't have done that.
We're just making decisions. It was a choice. It was a real choice.
It was poor choices being made.
But yeah, this color of Stanny's suit, and then they put it with that salmon pink, which I don't know that you could have ever saved the color of that suit, but then putting it with that tie shirt combo looks even worse to me.
Yeah, 100%. So all three go to the show's after party. Now, this party looks like a nightmare for me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Okay, complete nightmare because it both looks way too busy and too quiet. I'm like, how did both of those things happen? And
Yeah,
is it Christmas time? There's like twinkle lights and it looks like a Christmas party, but and nobody's talking. It's completely quiet. The music's quite quiet, but then the people are bumping into you. No.
yeah. I mean, and it's so funny about that because it's like, I mean, I think we're used to it from like sitcoms that are just on a set, right? Like, oh, everyone is completely quiet so that we can just hear the characters speak. But it's like, oh, this is supposed to feel like it's a New York
Yes.
party. Like, give us some
Yeah,
noise.
like they should have had this interaction in a quiet corner, not in the center or like in front of the party. Because that's
Yeah,
what they would have had to do in real life. They couldn't have had that conversation except shouting at each other ear to ear, which they could have shown.
yeah. I love that. Yeah, so Carrie runs into Big at the party because, of course, she does. So, based on this episode, is Big a modelizer?
Maybe. He's definitely a modelizer apologist, which is just as bad, right? Um,
I mean, but
but
is
from this,
Carrie?
even from this episode, I don't want to get too far ahead, but we do know that while he dates models, he settles down for someone else. Like, we know he's looking for something else. And it does explain to me why he rejected Sam in the last episode because she's not a model,
Ooh,
right?
cruelty. I love it.
Huh? Uh-huh. He likes and there's something about Big okay, that we're starting to paint a picture that I don't like about Big, which is that he likes to treat women like objects and accessories.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. Like he's like, I don't see anything wrong with wanting to date someone that's beautiful. It's like, yeah, because you want some arm candy. You want other men to find you impressive. You want the symbol of what that looks like. And we already know he doesn't mind being casually cruel to a woman who's not a model for coming on to him. So yeah, it's really not painting a good picture yet, is it? But anyway, we'll come back to because later in this episode we see him again, and to me it redeems him a little bit. Okay, I don't know if it redeems him, but it endears him to Carrie. I'll leave it
Yeah.
there.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you think? Is he a bit modelizer from this episode?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's Samantha referred to him as the next Donald Trump from in the first episode.
Jump scare.
Here, he shows up with a model literally on his arm, and Carrie's like, "Oh, I loved you in the
As an
show."
accessory.
Yeah. Um, when we saw him, he was sitting next to very young women.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
like,
he's creepy. I
absolutely.
don't know if I would completely go modelizer, but womanizer, absolutely. We have proven he's a womanizer. But I think you can make a case he's a modelizer too in this from this episode
At least
alone.
like a yeah, he's mild modelizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a mild
Yeah.
elizer. So Samantha goes home with Barkley despite knowing that he's a predator. How do you feel about that?
I can't wait for season 1 Samantha to be over. Why is season 1 Samantha so insecure and she's so like in the last episode she went home with Capote Duncan. In this episode she goes home with like she's going home with the most loser guys. She's not giving him power at all this season yet.
Yeah. She says it, but she's not actually doing it.
Yeah, she's not doing it yet. And I'm not cool with it. This is not the Samantha I know. So I can't wait until that changes. But yeah, it's lame that she goes home with him. And if she's into being taped during sex, which I can see, at least she fully is aware this is going to happen to her. And at least there's that. But
And
like
she
she could
carries it
get
on her own.
anyone to film her. Like
Yeah.
that's not hard to arrange.
Yeah, probably especially in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. And she just wants to prove a point like, oh, I'm passing for a model. And is she low key referencing that treatment from Big last episode? Because she was like publicly embarrassed by Big and he only dates models. But now there's this guy who only dates models who's flirting with me, so I'm going to go home with him, even though he's a predator.
Exactly.
Like, what? What
Yeah.
is this?
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking of, like, this is probably the cruelest image of Kim Cattrall. Not even just Samantha. Like, just Kim Cattrall, probably
Maybe
anyone.
any of the girls.
Overhead lighting, and then her bangs creating even more lines.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
It is diabolical.
It is. It
Like,
is.
who did this? Who did Kim Cattrall piss off before this started taping?
Oh my gosh, you're so right. You're so right.
So as we get closer to closing the episode, we have a pattern of choices from Carrie, Miranda, and Samantha. Not Charlotte because she doesn't exist anymore. Carrie leaves the party because Big made her feel invisible, but she feels better about herself because, as we discussed, the bone jumps in the cab with her on the way home. Normal Miranda takes Skipper home because he calls her luminous, and Samantha convinces Barkley to turn on the camera. So, is this episode about hating models and modelizers? Or does it serve to tell us how insecure our favorite women are, just like incidentally?
Amazing question because when you bring it up like that, no, this episode isn't about models. This episode is a smear campaign. I suppose, benefit of the doubt, it's showing as a storytelling tool, it's showing how much room for growth we have, right? I guess there's that. But I keep going back to why are these women so envious of models? Why are they so ridiculously jealous of people who are disposable and have no agency and attract men that they don't even like?
Mm,
And to me, it perpetuates this myth that the only thing women want is male attention and validation. And we would trade our dignity and our agency for a scrap of male attention.
yeah. Huh.
Barf. Yeah, awful. And that really, I remember when the Me Too movement started, even in my circle, when people were putting it as like Facebook statuses, and I put mine as an experience that I'd had professionally, and I said I would like sexual harassment to stop being a compliment.
Yes.
And that's what it is, because it's like, oh well, women love getting harassed. Women want to be treated like models. They want to be treated like people without agency and just objects, and just to command a room with how gorgeous they are. And it's like, maybe we did at one point. We don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I feel like it's that middle school comparison again, where, that girl saying she hated Anne Hathaway because she can wear a red lip. It's like, yeah, maybe, because we've been fed this for so long. We've been fed this myth that male attention is great and it's the end all be all, but honey, we can open our own credit cards now.
You can actually
That's
get
no
divorced.
longer the goal. Yeah. So yeah, I really hate the messaging in this episode, and it's not about models and modelizers. I mean, because like I said, there is an interesting conversation to be had here about this, about male standards being out of sync with reality,
Hmm.
and valuing strange things, like valuing youth, valuing someone who depends on them for handouts, valuing somebody who's treated like crap at their job by their agents. There's an interesting conversation to be had here, but I don't like the conclusions we come to at all, and I don't like the messaging. It's a nuanced conversation that would be great to have, but that's not what's been had at this episode.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, would one have been better than another? Like, what if they just totally focused
Hmm.
on some vapid model who was running around and just being an asshole and treating the women like shit, and then we like, oh, we find out that just kidding, she has a heart of gold. Like, I don't even know
Hmm.
what that episode would look like. Like, what if we did replace the bone who becomes sympathetic with a model who like we interviewed earlier in the episode who we can then become sympathetic toward? Like, would one even be any better?
I think it would, only because it wouldn't be such a smear campaign against women. Like, it's vapid and it's a shallow lesson, but it's like, I hated models until I met one. But I do think it might be slightly better. Or even if the bone could have given us more of a perspective of what it's like for a woman, where when she's like, wow, he's really normal and he's really human. Um, if he'd been like, yeah, but I don't envy what women go through. Like, yeah, this is way easier than what women go through.
I mean, yeah. Instead, he says, I don't date models, they're stupid.
Yes, instead he contributes.
Mhm.
Yes. Ugh. Yeah, instead he contribute. That's what it is. Everybody in this episode is contributing to this abuse of women.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's why I'm like, okay, so we can talk about Carrie, Miranda, and Samantha, but Charlotte's only in one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know why I think that is? I think it's because Charlotte knows not to be a plaything for asshole men. Charlotte, from day one, is out for a relationship. She's not out to be treated like a model.
Okay. I mean, I think the argument could also be made of Charlotte actually values all of the things that we think models do. Because
Hmm.
Charlotte, to me, at least in this season, is very trad wife pick me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that person very much values Do I look perfect? Do I look a certain way? Am I okay for the man? And so it's like, oh, maybe she values her time, but does she actually value her worth in a relationship in this season? So I don't know. I mean, we didn't get to see
I don't know. We haven't
Charlotte's
seen her
react.
enough to know that yet.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I guess I'm letting future Charlotte color
You're
what
letting
I think.
future Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, I just don't think she has the goal of being treated like a model. I think she has the goal of being thin like a model, but I think she's got her eye on a bigger prize. Like she's Miss, you don't sleep with someone on the first date, which we don't know that yet. To be clear, we don't know that yet. But I, yeah, I guess I'm letting future Charlotte color that opinion, but I don't think Charlotte's after purely male validation. She's after, I mean, it is a version of male validation, but it's commitment.
I mean, luckily we have time to talk about this. So we then end the episode at the coffee shop. It's obviously not a coffee shop, but this seems like way too practical for the Carrie that we know. Do you like working in coffee shops?
Sometimes, yeah. It depends on it. I feel like it's been ages since I've been able to work in a coffee shop because, like, if you get clients that make you sign NDAs and stuff, you can't work in places like you can't even be on public Wi-Fi. But unless depending on the situation. Um, but yeah, like when I was in school, I had a favorite coffee shop that I would work at. Yeah, there's one in the town I'm from called Fika, and it's just so darling, so cute, and they don't kick you out even when you're there for hours and you've only ordered a latte. So I like to work in coffee shops. But I agree with you. This looks like a diner. This doesn't look like a coffee shop. And I
Yeah.
kind of judge her for holding the table there.
I mean, legitimately, like, part of me wonders if she said coffee shop earlier and then this was like a last minute find. But they're like, well, we already filmed her saying coffee shop. So we're just going to pretend like this is a coffee shop and try to
They
not
serve
show.
coffee.
They do serve coffee. Sure, let's call it that.
Do you like working at coffee shops?
I love I love the thought of it, but to me, lugging, especially a 90s era laptop computer,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, God, could you imagine? Like, you're like,
Yeah, my
oh, not
laptop is
backward.
paper thin and it fits in any old bag. Yeah, I don't mind now.
Yeah, but like in the 90s, I mean, because like my laptop is pretty heavy, but it's like a MacBook. It's like a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, see, mine's the
it's a big
MacBook
one.
Air, which is why I need a connector for the mic that I forgot today.
Yeah, it's like mine is pretty heavy. So, and just like disconnecting it from my additional monitors and getting it off of the desk, like that's a lot of work now. Um,
It does depend too. If I'm doing design work, I cannot do that away from my big monitor.
yeah, but like just writing,
Writing, yeah, I don't mind.
great. Yeah. And like I'm spoiled. The place that I work at now, Ballyhoo Table and Stage, is gonna have coffee, food, and then they turn into a bar, so I could be there all day.
Yeah, I absolutely want to go hang out and work there for sure.
Exactly, yeah. And they won't kick me out, at least after.
I'll name drop you if they try.
Exactly. You know
I'll be
who
like,
I am.
"Well,
Beyonce
say
is my
please."
friend.
But then you'll tell them, "Oh yeah, get her out of there." No,
I know. I'm like, no, kick her out. I
you'll be
don't
like,
know
"Yeah, no,
her.
that's a liability."
Saying I know her. I don't know her. They're like, wasn't she a guest on your podcast? Yeah, but no, I don't know her. So Big surprises Carrie and says something that almost makes me start to like maybe sort of possibly like him. After a while, you just want to be with the one that makes you laugh. So it's almost sweet, but then he just walks away. So what are your thoughts here?
Oh, I love this scene. I hate Big, but I love it. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, he might not be completely a modelizer because we know that he dates women like that, but he's not going to settle down for somebody unless they make him laugh. Like he is to a degree after personality, whether his track record shows that or not, yet to be seen. But and he made Carrie feel so special here. That's what it is. Like he saw her, like we don't know, he must have seen her from the street. It's not like he was getting coffee there. He must have seen her from his car or something and had to go in and tell her this redeeming thing because and to me it's like, oh, she's in his mind and he wants gives her the butterflies. It gives me the butterflies as a viewer too. Like I was saying, how the abso-fucking-lutely line in the last episode gives me that same like, oh. And you're right, he does just leave, but to me it's because it drums up the butterflies. It's like, what a man of mystery, which barf if that was reality. But in my media, I like it, and I see why she's liking him because he is such. And that's I said before. Part of the attraction to Big is that he challenges her, and this is part of it. It's like he gives a little, but he doesn't give everything. He leaves, and that's what keeps you on the hook, whether that's a healthy dynamic or not. But that's we're already seeing that to me.
Yeah, I'd be like, when is the while done? Are you gonna ask me on a date? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, we're starting this dance, and we don't know, but it seems like it's been bugging him that she didn't like his answer at the party. And she's been in his head thinking, well, do I think that? What do I think? And then he's like, you know what? I think it's important for me that she knows my real opinion of this. So next time I see her, I'm gonna make a point. And he did. He walked in to talk to her and give this almost redeeming line.
Yes, almost. And
Actions mean
luckily,
more than words, Big, but
yeah, like luckily we're not going to see him again for another for a couple of episodes. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it just irritates me that like there was no follow up and that they're going to run into each other multiple times again before they finally even go for a thing. Like, ugh, it's
yeah,
so irritating to me.
yeah. But it's fun to watch for me too, though. I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, again, right? At least it's not like the stereotypical will they, won't they. It
Yeah, it
happens
is a
much
little different.
faster and it's a lot more flirty.
It's so flirty, and it's like it's just this guy I just happen to keep seeing all over New York. Which the reality of actually running into somebody that many times in New York
Exactly.
seems unlikely, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So Carrie's final narration in this episode is I take that back. Beauty is fleeting, but a rent controlled apartment overlooking the park is forever. I hate this whole thing. The thing that she says before Big gets there, this whole thing, like, does any of this even make sense?
The only part of this that's an okay comparison is comparing beauty to a resource. I think that's the only fair comparison here because beauty is a matter of luck and genetics, and a nice apartment is potentially also a matter of luck and maybe some family money or connections. So that's where it ends for me, though. Also, does she realize she's having a dig at herself in both cases here? I don't think she realizes it, but she's both a beautiful woman and has a rent controlled apartment in New York City, not overlooking Central Park, which is why I think she thinks she's different. It's like, oh, I'm not a model and I don't have one over Central Park. It's like, yeah, but you're a beautiful woman with a rent controlled apartment, Carrie, in New
Exactly.
York City. You are both of these people. And you're saying that, because she also says that what does she say? She says completely unfair and usually bestowed upon those who deserve it the least. So you? Are you saying you don't deserve it?
I mean, I think at times, yeah, she doesn't deserve it. Uh,
Yeah, but I don't
we
think she
haven't
realizes it.
exactly, yeah, we haven't even seen the rest of her apartment yet. So we're like, okay. And to be fair, we don't know that it's rent controlled at this point. I mean, we can kind of
We
assume.
don't know that yet. We don't know that
Yeah,
yet. That's true. But later we know she's beautiful, and we know we know she writes a column once a week and has that apartment. So we know that something nice is going on. She is blessed, and it's annoying to me that she's not checking her privilege here. It's like
yeah,
you have this. Most of your friends have a degree of privilege in both these respects, actually. So
exactly. Yeah, because Charlotte does, from at least like where it seems like her apartment is, has an apartment that is at least adjacent to the park, if not overlooking the park. Is it rent
yeah,
controlled?
and,
I don't
and she's
know.
beautiful.
Exactly.
Like I just think that she wouldn't say this about any of her friends, and she wouldn't say this about herself, but she'd say this about models. When in reality, Carrie probably comes from a better background than some of these models do.
100%. Yeah. And
Hmm.
again, right, it's just that that reiteration of only a man can write this kind of episode that hates women so much.
Also,
Like
not to be a spoiler, but we also learned that a rent controlled apartment is not forever.
exactly. Yeah, I
It's
love
like they
that.
might go condo. Actually, that might not be forever.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What are your final thoughts about this episode?
Men are not the prize in life, and stop treating them like it. Affordable housing, ample third places to spend time, and being surrounded by decent people are the real prizes.
Yes. And your friends, right?
Yeah, yeah, your friends, the people around you.
Yeah. Yes,
That's the
your
prize. And
three
Carrie
close
has all that.
girlfriends. Yeah, your three close girlfriends who you spend very little time with one of them.
Yeah, those are the real prize. These men, don't treat them like the prize.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you again for joining me for this second episode. As always, it was a joy because we have so much
Thank
fun
you for
talking
having
about
me.
this. Yeah,
Yes, so much fun.
absolutely. And yes, and then hopefully you'll be joining me for next episode as well. But
Me.
that is the second episode of the Say in the City podcast and of Sex and the City that we discussed. Please like and comment on the video, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.